Good evening, everybody. Namaskar, India. Pressman and CGS, together we welcome you all for this Tech Talk. And since last week, we have started doing a lot of educational programs and Tech Talks regarding expanded color gamut. In that series, as a first session, we had a introduction session about expanded color gamut technology, how it has been done, and this session was beautifully taken by Dr. Kiran Deshpande from SIGWork, and I hope you all enjoyed it. And as a continuity, today we have ECG experts from Germany, none other than from CGS, an award-winning one product for color management. And I'm sure most of you are aware CGS. More than CGS, most of them are aware as ORIS. So today we have Mr. Heiner Müller, packaging director, sales director for the packaging division, and their application specialist, color management specialist, Mr. Marcus, who's going to take us through a tour in ECG tour today, how Gamut technology works in this section. And I'm sure this section will be very useful for printers who are in packaging and commercial, and even digital printers can make a best use of it, especially HP Indigo printers who has the 7-color machines. So I request Mr. Heinemuller to give a introduction about their profile and about the company before he starts with the session. Welcome, Mr. Heinemuller and Marcus. The session is all yours.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Namaste, or just a hearty welcome from Germany. First, I'd like to thank Salman and Pressman Solutions for the opportunity today. I hope everyone is safe and sound and you have made yourself comfortable. My name is Heiner Müller and I'm with CGS Oris now since 15 years and responsible for our packaging solution. Thank you all for joining us. With me today, as Salman mentioned, is Markus Brune, one of our product managers, who will help me out with the technical part. And we'll have a closer look at how you can benefit immensely implementing extended gamut printing with Oris X Gamut from CGS. Hello, Markus. Good to have you here. We do have a lot of things, exciting things to talk about. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. Most of you will be familiar with CGS, I guess, but still allow me a few words about the company. CGS was founded over 35 years ago here in Heinsberg, Germany, which is about 20 minutes away from Frankfurt International Airport. Our focus always has been color management, workflow, pre-press and press optimization. Today, we have solutions for the entire graphic arts industries with products that seamlessly work together. The most important market segment for us is the packaging industry, on which we had a particular focus since over 10 years. We are currently around 90 people around the globe with offices and distributors in most parts of the world. Our today's topic is, of course, extended gamut printing. Many of you will have been given an extensive first introduction to it by Siegwerk in the previous Pressman webinar. Today, we would like to show you how this technology can effortlessly be implemented in any production environment using Oris X Gamut. My colleague Marcus will give you a detailed insight into the application. So what is extended gamut printing again? For those of you who have been in this industry for a while, like myself, this is almost an old hat and by many names in the past. like hexachrome printing or Hi-Fi 6. Nowadays, it listens to many other names like fixed color palette or multicolor printing. And by the way, hexachrome was introduced by Pantone in 1994 and discontinued in 2008. So why wasn't it widely accepted in the market? For one, there was a lack of support, and Pantone feared that it would probably siphon off profits. So eventually Pantone sold it to HP Indigo, where it was named Indichrome. The workflow for such a process is quite different from, let's say, normal offset CMYK printing. And a lot of issues were unsolved, such as what is the gamut increase of processes with more than 4 inks? How can you model such processes and make profiles? What about screening? Is the ICC profile specification flexible enough for such print processes? But I think the biggest obstacle was lack of standardization on press and the register accuracy of the presses at that time. The conclusion is today there's no technical reason why you should not take the step and implement extended gamut printing. The possible savings are obvious. Just think about the amount of money you spend on expensive cans of Pantone inks, the piling up of inventory, or if you are lucky and you have your own ink kitchen, how much time you spend formulating the inks and still have leftovers or the colors don't exactly match. Just do the math, how many wash-ups and changeovers you have per year. How many more hours of press output could you sell on average? If you do the numbers, there's probably not a single more effective optimization measure than changing to ECG printing. As you will see in a minute, ECG does not necessarily mean 7-color printing. It can be any kind of color combination. One aspect that is often overlooked is that it allows you to produce also very vibrant, saturated images, even on uncoated stock like newspaper. No wonder actually hexachrome was originally designed for fine art printing. So you will ask yourself the question, what is the right color combination? The most established set today, of course, is CMYK plus orange plus green and violet. But any additional color will obviously enlarge your color gamut. With Xgamut, you have the full flexibility to choose what you want, what gives you the best result, or what is the optimum given certain restraints. We will see later on, and Marcus will explain that. It all comes down to how much of it, let's say the Pantone color set, can be printed with a certain color combination. Xgamut will give you an exact answer on that. If you print, for instance, regularly for a customer with a reflex blue brand color, you might well add it to your set instead of violet. Xgamut will support any color combination between 4 and 8 colors. The application will also instantly inform you which colors are achievable with the desired color combination and which are not. Something very important when you are in front of your customer. So for which print processes is Xgamut suitable? In general, the application can be used for any print process, being it analog or digital. So far, I've talked a lot about conventional printing, but the same or even more holds obviously true for digital printing. With our extensive background in digital printing, we have profound knowledge to help you implement the process successfully, no matter whether you have an HP Indigo or into digital signage printing. Our distribution partners and we ourselves will always accompany you during the implementation process and answer questions like which colors to choose, which color sequence, or which general press settings. So what do we want to cover today? Apart from a deeper insight into extended gamut printing, I would like to answer the question, why should you choose Oryx Xcom? There are many reasons, as we will see. The solution gives you ultimate flexibility and integrates easily in any kind of existing workflow. There's no need to change an existing prepress process. The application does not need any Illustrator plugins or so. Dynamic profiling, reseparation, and file optimization is being done in one single application. Like all of our color management software, it directly connects to cloud-based assets like the Oris Cxf Cloud for spectral color data or Pantone Live. Oris Xgamut is based on our Oris press matcher technology. Therefore, Xgamut is also a full-fledged color server. So it does do color management for multiple devices or presses, ink saving, file normalization, and pre-flighting. One last but important aspect is the seamless connection to the Oris proofing applications. As we will see, the profiles generated in Oris Xgamut can be directly used in the proofing application to generate highly accurate proofs. So at any stage, you can visualize the result of the reseparation profile process before and after. Oris Xgamut is a powerful, fully automated color management solution to convert files for extended Gamut printing for any kind of print process, be it analog or digital. And incidentally, the solution has won the prestigious EDP award of the European Digital Press Association in 2019 as best pre-press solution. Xgamut is your choice for printing with any kind of CMYK plus X ink configuration and for creating brilliant images by optimizing RGB content. So, at a glance, here is the application workflow. Just prior to plate making, you send your final PDFs, being it CMYK plus any number of spot colors or RGB PDFs through the application, and Oris Xgamut will convert all files into a new reseparated CMYK plus extended color PDF, which can then be sent to any press, being it either conventional or digital. So now it's time to hand over to Markus Brune, who will take you through the process step by step and explain the key features of the application. Please, Markus, go ahead. Selman, maybe you can hand over the controls to Markus, and I will come back to you later on after Markus' presentation.
Okay. Thanks, Rainer, for the introduction. Hello, everybody. Welcome from my side as well. I'm just checking, is my screen visible?
Yes, Markus, your screen is
Yes.
visible.
Okay, good. Okay, just a second. Okay, so let's start. I just have some information for you regarding my my part here. First of all, I just will give you some slides, and I will show you the process. I will make it more visual for you, how it works and how it looks, and after that, after the slides, I will go to the application and will guide you through the application and how we handle this ECG stuff. Okay, first of all, I will have here an example. This example will go with me through the whole process, and we have here an artwork from our side just designed, and this artwork has 9 Pantone spot colors. It has CMYK elements, and also in addition to this, we see some RGB elements here. And the status right now is, if you would print these these layouts in a conventional offset press, flexo press, whatever, in a CMYK mode, you would have the possibility to reproduce some of those spot colors, even in the CMYK color space. It would be no problem. But what happens if you will go and print some other of these spot colors in CMYK? You see the other spot colors are placed outside of the CMYK color space. So in this case, you have to go to the spot color press run, and you need a special printing machine, of course, with extra color decks, and this makes it all expensive and time consumable. Of course, you could also convert all these spot colors to CMYK, but then you know what happens. it will look like this, very flat and not nice, and the customer maybe not accept this one. So what can you do? Of course, you need to print your jobs with spot colors. And you see here, this was also Heiner was showing. If you put more colors to your press machine, your color machine, you will have a more and bigger color space. And the colors from before, of course, are still in the color space. And even if you use now an extended color space of OGV, in addition to this, you see all of your spot colors now reproducible. Makes it more handy and usable. What does it mean for our job from the beginning? For example, if you have an offset press with 7 color decks, you just have the possibilities to print a part of this job in one press run. So that means first you print 7 colors like CMYK plus 3 of the spot colors, and then you need to remove these inks. You have to wash the machine, and you have to put in the rest of the inks and run a second press run, for example. Or if you have another job, you have all the time you have to wash the machine and set up the machine, and this takes time, and this is the problem, and it's very time consuming, and for each job it could be different because every job has different Pantone colors included, and you know what happened, and the machine has downtimes, and it's very costly. And the alternative, Heiner was also mentioned. And coming back to our job, what can we do? We're using our printing machine from the beginning, and now we are using every time a fixed color palette. What you see here, CMYK, OGV, for example, and all the jobs you are going to print in the future are running with this color set. So this is just an example, but we are fully free. You can set up any color combination, whatever you like. And if we are now looking at the Pantone color 116, for example, you see here the Pantone color will be reproduced with yellow and with orange, for example. And this happens to all the other Pantone colors. So all the colors will be now re-separated with this fixed color palette of your printing machine. And here then it doesn't matter if it's conventional or digital.
Marcus, just one question. Is there a percentage number when we look, for instance, at an ISO-coated and an ISO-coated Pantone color book? Is there a rough number, what percentage I can reproduce, let's say, with a color combination of CMYK OGV?
Of course, yeah, it depends what kind of OGV colors are you using, but in general, you can say if you're using OGV in addition to CMYK in your printing process, you are covering around 95 to 98% of the color space of Pantone.
That's an impressive number.
Yes. You'll see even the gamuts, if you just have a CMYK gamut and you compare it to CMYK OGV, you have a big increasement in your color gamut, and you are much more flexible with your spot colors in future if you're using a fixed color palette in this case. Okay, so let's go into the software itself, to our Gamut software. What you see here is our software that helps you to re-separate your files. It's our client service solution, and it's not only re-separation software. Our Gamut, or what the base or another software like we have developed before was called Pressmatcher, is the base of Gamut, and Gamut is like a Swiss Army knife that helps you to do a lot of work with different kind of files. So you just cannot re-separate. You can use it also for color transformation. You can use it for pre-flighting your files. You can use it also for different kinds of file conversions. For example, you can convert all of your files from a TIFF format to a PDF format, or you can drop any kind of file format into the software and it will generate TIFFs or PDF files. So it's not only a re-separation software, it's a big tool even for ink saving, what Heiner was mentioning. So you can also use it for conventional presses, digital presses, to optimize your ink consumption on your machine, for example. And it's a big tool for file manipulation, if you like. It's kind of a color server. And what you see here now is the server side. From here, I can create all my profiles and all the settings I need to use. And on the left-hand side, I see all my queues with different profiles with different settings. And if I now want to set up a new profile for my ECG printing, I just need my wizard here on the left-hand side. And first of all, you can see here some different kind of file types you can choose from PostScript devices over different kind of file formats. For the demonstration, I'm just using here a PDF file format. If you're using the PDF, you can choose different kind of PDF file formats. Oh, here. So we have a PDF to PDF conversion. We have we call any PDF. That means you can drop any kind of files in and it will convert to PDF, or a flat PDF for older RIPs. They don't understand transparencies, for example. But for the demonstration, I'm just using PDF in, PDF out. And first of all, I need to define my output queue or my queue. You can define it by a name, whatever you like. You use your machine, color mode, and if you like what kind of paper you are using. We're defining an input folder, like a watch folder, and an output folder where the files will be processed after, and you can put it to the next step in your process, for example. So you can also combine the hot folders that you have a workflow in combination here. And if you set it up, you can choose your kind of delta E formula what you want to use. We have all the standard formulas, and the standard one that is more and more used is delta E 2000. We could recommend also to use that one here. The measurement device, of course, what kind of measurement device are you going to use? These are the devices we are going to, or we are supporting in our application. You see we have a lot of X-Rite devices, Techcon, Barberi, Konica Minolta devices. So it depends what kind of device you have. Choose your device here and connect it. Different kind of measurement methods also supported. So the next step is the calibration step. This is only recommended from our side for digital printers, for example. Digital machines, sometimes the RIP in front has not the ability to do a linearization or ink limiting. If it's not possible, we do recommend to do all this stuff from here. So you can create a linearization or calibration with ink limiting in combination. And that helps you to linearize and bring your machine to a certain base here. The next step is the profiling step. You see, you have a lot of different kind of profiling abilities in our software. What I'm going to show you over here is the Xgamut profiling, reseparation stuff. But also we have this color matching, iterative color matching for digital machines. For example, if you want to do an ISO-coated simulation on an HP Indigo, for example, you also have the possibility to create white gamut profiles, interesting for RGB printers, for photo printers. But now let's go to the reseparation part. First of all, you need to set up your input and output color space. What is important for the files that are coming in? What happens to grayscale, RGB, and CMYK files? What happens to embedded profiles as well? And now this is one of the key features and very important features here in the software. You have to create a test chart. This test chart you have to print on your target machine. It can be on the digital, it can be, of course, on your conventional press. And it's very important here before you start to print. If you are on a digital machine, it's no problem. You can create any kind of formats here, any kind of color combinations and all this stuff, because you don't have a real print format limitation. It looks different if you go to a conventional, for example, flexo press. Sometimes you just have a very small print format, and here you have to keep an eye on, because beside of the format, you decide, okay, this is maybe the format of your flexo machine, you are limited by this. And you see, I have now one test page, and the test page and the format is connected to the numbers of patches. So right now I just have 800 patches here. So this is one test page would be fitting on this kind of format. We're saying if you have more patches on your test chart, you have a proper or better profile. So normally we do recommend to have patch number around 2000 patches. But you see, then we have 3 pages, and these 3 pages you cannot print on your Flexo machine. So there is not a problem, but this is a limitation of the Flexo of the print format. So in this case, you have to keep an eye on the format and on the patches. So going back to 800 patches, for example, it will just will create 1 page, and this will fit then on your Flexo machine. As I said, digital, we don't care. We can use 2000, and we have 3 pages. You can run it on the HP Invigo, on EverPress, it's no problem. Sorry, I'm just going to use here, for example, okay, so also important is the tag, the ink limit. So this is also adjustable here. Also important that you don't have too much ink, over inking on your machine later on. So limit your ink here. Define your patches and the format of your machine. If you did all this stuff, very important topic is here the color combination CMYK OGV. But as Heiner said already, you are not limited to OGV. You can use one of these presets from our side here, but you can also define your own color sets. If you have a printing machine with a special gray color, with a special blue color, you can define any kind of color combination here. So you are not limited to our recommendations here. So you need to save this layout. Oh, just a second. I think it's still open here because I have this test chart open here. I just close it. I just will, okay, I will save it again. Okay, so software tells me this, the test chart has been put to my output folder, and I need now to print this one on my target machine.
Max, if I may just jump in. What about special color combinations? You know, very often, as I understood, you know, when you have an offset press and you print with standard screening, very often, for instance, black and violet are sit on the same screen angle, and this would possibly create morays. How do you handle that one?
Yeah, that's a good question. This is also a part of the wizard. In one of the next steps, we can avoid some color combinations. So if you have violet and black or whatever you have, you can avoid these color combinations. You set it up in the software as well. Okay, so here again, here's the created test chart. You see CMYK plus orange, green, and violet. So this test chart now needs to print on your conventional or on your digital. And you know what we did in the past on different customer sites, we created a test page. So it's not a test page like this one you have to create, but this is just an example what we did on a Heidelberg 8-color machine. So we placed the multicolor test charts on the press. We also put some CMYK test charts here. And in addition to this, and it's recommended by us, if it's possible, we do recommend to also to place some so-called Cxf Tint Ramps, what you see here. So Cxf, for those of you don't know what Cxf is, it's a special, it's called color exchange format. It's from Xrite, and it's a special format for transporting spot color informations via a complete process workflow. So you press you print your spot colors in addition in this spot color information. So it's in 10% steps on white and in 10% steps on black. And you get much more detailed information about your spot color regarding TVI. You get opacity information. All this information is what is important for the spot color and for later reproduction. For example, if you're going to proof these spot colors as well, you could implement these spot color informations into the proofing software. You could give this spot color informations to the ink manufacturer for the ink formulation software to reproduce these inks. So you have a lot of possibilities to transport these spot color informations to all the people who are working with your company together. So this is just one recommendation from our side to use the Cxf Tint Ramps in addition to the spot color multicolor test charts. And this one, of course, you're going to print. And after printing, you need, of course, to measure your test chart. I just have here some measurement files prepared, and I'm just loading this one. Oops, not here. So this is just the setting for the quality of the profile. You see we have a slider here. You can have a low quality profile. It will be a smaller profile, but the calculation will be faster, but the quality is not that good. And if you slide to the right hand side, you have the optimum profile quality. You have a bigger profile, but the quality of the profile will be better for all the calculation stuff and so on. The next step is to put your spot color database into our system, and here you see these are all the spot color tables. They're coming with our software, HKS or Pantone, and you see we have also the actual Pantone libraries. I'm just selecting one Pantone solid coated V3 library. So that means this library we'll use for reseparation. And another interesting topic is the refined spot color section. Here you see we have an upper and a lower limit. That means if a color comes with a number of more than 97%, 98, 99%, it will be automatically put to 100%. And if you have a lower limit like 3 and it's below, we will kick it to 0. That we just have refined colors in our printout later on. And this will be just used if the delta E is not higher than 5, for example. So and this is the next step Heiner was asking. This was these exclude channel combinations. So if you have the problem that you have a limited angle problem with your colors, you can say, okay, violet and black, please exclude it if the delta E is not higher than 5. So you can define different kind of color combinations here. If you did it and you click next, the calculation would start of this profile. I would not do it right now because it takes a little bit to calculate. I will cancel this process here and will guide you to a finished queue already, and I will show you the process in a demo queue I have prepared for you. First of all, we just need to wait a few seconds because the software is now deleting all the files in the background I was creating right now. And if the deleting is finished, I will go to the queue and show you the spot color settings, and I will also will process a file through this you created queue. Just a second. I will check. So what I will do is I will run this file from the beginning, my demo file here. And you see this was my file. I have CMYK colors included. So I have my spot colors included. And in addition to this one, I also have some RGBs. If I go to this one, you see I have also here an RGB image included. So this has all the important elements our software is able to process: spot colors, RGBs, CMYKs. So it's still.
So Marcus,
yes.
If a printer wants to achieve vibrant images. So the input images should be in RGB mode, correct?
Yes, yes, I would recommend. Yes, the input can be RGB, and even the RGBs then will be reseparated to CMYK OGB or the fixed color palette of your system. Yes.
In case if they receive the design which is already converted into CMYK, in that case the vibrancy will come, or we should not expect the vibrancy.
I think if you just have CMYK information, they will not be reseparated to OGV. This is maybe something we have to think about, or maybe to put to our development list as well, to extend even a CMYK input to the 7-color or 6-color or 8-color system, whatever. But right now it will not be put to the 7-color separations.
Okay.
Okay, so I just show you here the demo queue I have created here, and going to the spot color sections. I can see here my spot colors here, and the spot colors will be listed like this here. So you see the spot colors and you see the separation of spot colors. It has magenta, it has black, and it has orange. And all of the spot colors, the reseparated spot colors later on, will not have more than 3 separations to avoid more re-effects, for example. So you will not find any spot color here with 4 separations, for example. And what is also interesting is you could check the quality of your spot colors. You can do it on conventional, but it will take too long. But on a digital machine, like on an HP Indigo whatever machine, you could check the quality of your spot colors as well with a measurement process. So we call it here control measurement. What we can do is we could create a test chart with our test chart generator. You see it here. So it will automatically generate a test chart with all spot colors. You see we have here 3 pages. This is why I say on a conventional press, it would take too long, or even on your Flexo machine, it will not fit because it's too much of spot color informations, too many pages. But on a digital, it's no problem. So you can save this one. You print this out on your machine, and then you have to measure this one. I just have here for demonstration. I have also already a measurement file prepared. So
Max, if I jump into that one, I think to be quite honest, even on a conventional press, since you would only do this once, yes, this is a sort of an effort, but you could be then absolutely sure which colors can in fact be reproduced with which delta E. So I think, especially for a sales office of a printer, for instance, this is very important information because they can go to their customer and then show the customer exactly can these colors be reproduced. So I think it's a very good asset to check, this calculated information, which colors are in fact achievable or not. You can immediately say that. And I think for a printer, it's very, very important that he can actually make a statement like this to his customers.
That's right. Yeah. You can. I just was opening here a spot color, so I can go more into details of a spot color. So this was a pre-calculation of the delta E. So this was just calculated. It was the delta E of 1.78, and after certification, if you like, we have a delta E of 1.9. So you see, it's not far away from the estimated one. So you have a good pre-calculation here, but if you want a proper number, it's recommended, of course, what you said, it's to print it out and check it with your measurement device. And then you can see how good these spots will be reseparated and reproduced on your machine. And this is a very nice feature here. Of course, you have a lot of other tools to manipulate, to change, to optimize your spot colors as well. Just a hint, you can also use this honeycomb system and mix some colors in, mix colors out, and compare it to your real printed color to optimize it here as well. But this is just a side note for you guys here. if I now run my demo file, where is it? Here it is. So I'm just using my package example here and put it to the workflow. It will be processed automatically if it's set like this. And you remember the file here, that was my input file, so the 9 Pantones and CMYK and RGB files. And now they will be processed in my system. And if it's processed, it will be reseparated to CMYK OGV, the CMYK, the Pantones, and the RGBs. I will go to the output folder. So it's you can see it has been processed. It's here it is, and you see now my reseparated files. So it has CMYK, it has orange, green, and violet. Stanzform is just the die, it's just die information. It's just the technical information. It's still inside. Of course, we still leave it inside of the document for prepress stuff. But the rest of the colors, all the Pantone colors from before and the RGB colors now have been reseparated to my fixed color palette here. And this can be done with any kind of file. So your prepress is working as always with InDesign, with Photoshop, whatever, creating the PDF files. They don't need any plugins or stuff like this. They just create their files, drop it here to our application. The application is reseparating to the fixed color palette, and this one then goes to the next step of your production chain. And it's very easy and very good to handle those files here. And also you could use the created profile of this queue here. So we are creating a profile here, and this kind of profile we could also use in our proofing application, in our color tuner, for example. I have here 7 color proofing. I just call it like this, and all I have to do is to load this kind of profile in my multicolor section here, and then I can use the same profile and same files, everything in my proofing application to have a proof of my printing process later on, a multicolor proof.
I think, Marcus, this is very important because what we could also do is, I mean, you know, in some instances, some customers will maybe even accept, when we talk about an extended palette with maybe less than 7 colors. So in that case, you know, many customers may accept certain delta E values, but they need to visualize, you know, how much impact does that have on the final result. So what we could do, of course, in the proofing application, we can do a before and after proof, and also have the customer sign off on that. So I think running a proofing system in parallel is almost a must for extended Gamut printing.
Mm. A must, and it's not hard to set up. You don't need to make any special profiles or stuff like that. You know, you just created your multicolor profile in Xgamut, and this one you can just export and use it in our proofing application. So this was my stuff from my side regarding the reseparation in Xgamut. If there's anything more from your side, please let me know. But if not, thanks for your attention.
Marcus, there was a question actually coming in via WhatsApp from Dr. Akshay Yoshi, and you know, this is why I'm just, you know, occasionally looking down. You know, he just wanted to know how the patches in the chart, when you print this, for instance, maximum of 2,000 patches, how are these patches distributed across the 4 quadrants of your LAB color space? So in other words, is there a tool to actually tell, you know, for instance, how many patches are there between red and blue? You know, so how is the mapping there? is there any way to identify that?
No, this is something done automatically by our algorithm in the background. We developed this one, and this is kind of for the user in front of the PC. It's kind of a black box. He cannot change or cannot see anything in this direction. This is something our developers have done, and it's not settable or configurable from the customer side. So this is something maybe if he's interested in, I have to talk to the developers if we can get some information regarding this.
This is something a discussion we should take offline. There were some specific questions behind that, which I think it's just too complicated to put this onto a wider panel now. So we actually should take this offline. But I think bottom line is, since you mentioned that the size of a press, we were talking about, for instance, a narrow web flexo press. In certain instances, it could absolutely pay to run several test charts on the press. Even if you have like a 3-part test chart, just to be more accurate and eliminate a lot of interpolation between the patches. Also, is there a way, because some presses tend to produce different results across the entire width of the press? Is there a way to take an average of several measurements?
Yes. But what you can do is you can, as you said, you can measure in several test charts. You can, for example, start with a test chart from the beginning of the press run, and you can take one of the middle and one of the last section or whatever. Or you can press, if you have the space on your machine, you can print more test charts beside, and you can measure all of them. And in our application, you have the possibility to average. You can upload like 5 test charts, 10 test charts. You will get an average test chart in the end. And in addition to this, you can do a smooth as well. You can smooth your average as well. So these tools are in the software as well. And out of these smoothed and averaged measurement, you could create your profile as well.
Sevan, I did not see any questions in the chat room. So maybe it's time to wrap the session up. Do you have anything to add? Otherwise, I would just have a last slide to show.
Yes, I have one question. There are 1 or 2 questions available in the question section. So one of the question is, what about different paper types? Would you have to redo the process for each paper type?
Yes, if the papers are too different, of course, then it's recommended to create for each paper type different profiles. But if the paper are in a family, a coated family, and the paper white is not too different, you could use the same profile. I would recommend. But if it's too different from the paper white, from the surface and all this stuff, is it glossy, is it matte or whatever, I think you need to redo the process.
There are ways.
I just have an addition, Heiner, sorry. With the latest version, it's not released right now, but we're going to release it. It's also possible to edit the paper white in the multicolor profile with the next release of Xgamut. This would be possible as well. If this is also an option for the customer, he could edit the paper white in the profile.
This is something, Stefan, we already have implemented in the other applications like ColorTuner or FlexPack, which is extremely helpful. That you do have a profile which has been generated on a press substrate combination, and if you do have a new substrate, you could actually subtract the existing paper coloration and add a new one. So which makes it, of course, immensely helpful, because you don't have to rerun these test pages on press. It saves you a lot of time actually on press.
Okay, Marcus, you were showing us a PDF file, Acrobat, a professional output review, where we could see a 7-color separation. that, I mean, I just wanted the audience to have that confirmation that Acrobat preview of that file is only for viewing, and it may not actually show the color according to the profile, right? Because Acrobat may not be compatible with the 7-color ICC profile.
Right.
It is still
So
showing the
Acrobat,
7-color in 4-color.
Acrobat is showing your PDF, your multicolor PDF, but it's not really connected to the reality, if I like phases, because Acrobat has still a lag here with multicolor display in their applications. So what you see in Acrobat is not really the reality.
It is just to check whether the file is 7-color separated or not. Am I right?
Yes, yes. I just use Acrobat to see. I'm just checking if there's a it shows you the separations, right? You see the separations, but the display of the colors here is not really the result you see on Press later on, because it's still a problem in Acrobat to display multicolor jobs.
Okay, fine.
This is incidentally, Selman, this is also something we are looking into, is accurate, absolutely accurate contract proof quality screen output. For visualization on a monitor.
Okay, okay. Marcus, thank you so much for your beautiful session. And
Thank you.
just to give a quick brief understanding of the process, initially we create a test file according to the number of colors a printer is going to print. Maybe a 5-color or a 6-color or a 7-color. It could be any color combination. It could be of any choices. It can
Yes.
even be a customized colors.
Yes.
Once the chart, maybe a flexo machine, label machine is a small machine, small format, where you need a smaller size test file. Whereas in offset, you can build a larger one. So according to
For
the
example,
substrate size, you are building a test file according to with the number of patches. This file is being printed on the machine and it is being calibrated following ECG guidelines issued by Idea Lines or any standard bodies, or through an expert's expertise. Once the entire process is completed, you take that final profile, we measure that with the measurement device, maybe something like FT9 or I1 IO or ISIS. We create an
yeah.
ICC profile and we use that profile in the Oris Gamut software, then process the PDF file which has the Pantone colors or RGB images. This RGB images or the Pantone colors will be re-separated by Xgamut software, Oris Xgamut software, into a 7-color combination, where each of the Pantones will have either a 2-color or a 3-color combination, not all the 7-color.
Right.
It has only 2-color or maximum 3-color combination. We achieve the Pantones, and what is the total percentage of Pantones achievable in a maybe in an offset machine on a coated substrate?
It depends on the color space, the color set you are using in an offset machine. If you just have CYK, the Pantone reproduction won't be that big. But if you are going to use OGV in a combination, what we said already, we have almost presentation or representation of these spot colors around 95 till 98% around.
Beautiful, beautiful. Fine. So almost 95% of the Pantone shades are achievable, subject to the process the printer had followed for the process calibration.
Mm.
Excellent. Fine. Thank you very much, Marcus. It was a beautiful.
Welcome,
We
Stefan.
really understood the actual process.
Nice, thanks. I think Heiner wants to show something.
Yes. Yeah. I'll make it.
So I have just one more thing.
Steve Jobs.
I hope you can see all this.
Heiner, you're now the presenter.
Okay, here we go. First of all, I'd like to thank you very much for joining us today. I know it's almost time for supper in India. I hope you had an interesting time, and but I think many of you will still have a few open questions. So please note my email address. You can contact me personally via email at any time, and I will be very happy to give you more information. We can take everything offline. Please also visit our website where you can download everything around Xgamut and also our other products. Great to have seen you all here. Have a nice evening. Stay safe. And I hope to see you soon. Bye for now from Germany.
Thank you so much, Marcus, Heiner, and Tommy, Isabel. We thank you all very much, and we look forward to have your presentation sometime in future with a new topic, new technology. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Selman. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Bye for now.
Selman. Thank you, audience. Take care. Bye.